All right, our racers have been given the go-ahead. They are counting down. They will kick off the playoffs. Playoffs in the Season 3 of the Panic Restaurant Tournament. The SHI Tournament featuring Panic Restaurant. Quarterfinals in the upper deck. Buzz Thunder versus BGT. Race 1. Hey, Link, how you doing?
Good. Alright, let me get you muted there.
I had to lower this volume, I think, a little bit on the race restream.
Yeah, I had you in feedback mode there for a minute.
That's where I make the most sense in feedback mode. How are you feeling about this winner's bracket matchup between Buzz Thunder and Bent Glass Tube?
It should be pretty good. I feel like Buzz may be the favorite, but you see BGT with some good times, so it should be a good race.
Here's the thing about this matchup, and everyone knows Buzz puts up good times. BGT has a better individual race time than Buzz Thunder has so far in this tournament.
Well, looks like BGT has given himself a bit of a handicap.
Yeah, he's that arrogant right now about it. Coach Crab put up the best race time at 14 minutes 46 seconds. BGT has 15 minutes 26 seconds, and Buzz Thunder has 15 minutes 39 seconds. So that's what these individual best times for these runners so far. We're on to the second stage here. What's the most critical thing in playing this game that you think you need to do well or not mess up to stand a chance?
I feel like what it comes down to in this game really is you can take awkward hits in places and then trying not to go on tilt after that, and just, all of a sudden you're at a boss fight with one heart left. If you can play clean through the stages, then I think that is really key to your, just cranking out good times.
I think there's a couple different ways to practice this game. One of them being that you have to get a completion under your belt. Then you have to start lowering your times, finding out where you can save it. And then once you're comfortable doing things as fast as possible, then you have to evaluate, like, where are you saving those frames. That's the level Buzz Thunder and Coach Crab are at right now with their practice, because they're the two that put in the most practice, I think, in this game, and the times are reflecting at. Buzz did miss the elevator on the first cycle, and I think BGT nailed it, but like you said before, BGT gave himself a little bit of a handicap with a boss death. How long did it take you to learn and get comfortable with the ice level?
The ice level is a strange one for me, because when I first practiced it, I had a strat all set up where at least I could go through the first segment with the fork. I kind of practiced it that way, and then I forgot kind of the route of jumping, so I just started kind of playing it safe. But I mean, it's a few runs, I think, before you kind of figure out where not to, take extra hits.
Both BGT and Buzz Thunder have good boss fights on Microwave Mick there. Buzz Thunder with the slight advantage because of the death to Popcorn Pete on BGT's side. It's the only death of the game so far. We're not going to see as much deaths as we saw earlier, because this is the upper deck and the winner's bracket. So we'll see how BGT manages. Anything can happen to anybody. You take a stupid death, and like you said before, you carry one heart in the wrong place, especially at the end of a checkpoint, and needing to go all the way back. It's certainly something that could cause a problem for Buzz.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of mistakes you can make, and a lot of them are pretty cheap in that you just have that slow damage animation. But you take a death late in a screen, you're really, burning time. So. Or fall in a pit.
Yeah, and you got those couple of jumps in that last stage, those short jumps you have to make going right to left with the low ceiling and the teacup in the middle, and then the big long super jump in one of the last parts of the last stage. Anything can happen with those if you mess up. See if Buzz gets the glitch. Yeah, this is pretty much standard for everybody now. It's well timed, and everyone can seem to pull it off.
Yeah, it's a pretty easy damage boost, actually.
Seems like the only place in this game, and this is where I have to compliment the game as far as racing it. Seems like it's the only place in the game where you can do something that manipulates the game to do better.
Yeah, it's really, it seems like kind of the only unintended strategy, even in the task. The task doesn't really do anything else that seems entirely unintended, other than that one damage boost.
And I do question when playing this game sometimes about, you brought this up in my eyes in Wacky Races, and it's something I never really considered. The RNG, let's talk about this for a second since Buzz is there. This is really the only place where RNG can quote-unquote troll you, is the Willy Walk fight and the shrimp diving on top of you, yeah.
I feel like you walk in this fight with 4 hearts, you're usually not going to have a problem. The one thing, and I had this happen to me once, if you take a shrimp and don't get jumped up to the top platform, if you take a shrimp before you can get jumped up there and get knocked off, then that's when it's trouble, I think.
Yeah, if you get first shrimped and you get knocked down to the bottom, you better hope that the shrimp land in a favorable pattern that is not on your head to be able to beat the boss thereafter. Going back to what I was saying before about tasks and lag and stuff like that, there are certain parts in this game, like getting the pot and being invulnerable where you spin and jumping over certain enemies, and I wonder how that affects lag, leaving the enemies there, or if the pot even... Does the task take the pot? Because I feel like when I take the pot, I'm very lagged.
I don't remember if it ends up taking some of them or not, but I know what it does, and I imagine it probably skips at least one of those pots, but the task likes to keep the plates as much as possible, and then just snipe things from halfway across the screen. Fewer things meaning less lag.
Less lag and less slowdown that you have to get when you get on top of them with a short-range weapon to wait for the safest place to hit it as well. Buzz Thunder is doing this, and here's a plate. That pot's not avoidable. It's the pot later on in the last level, I believe it is, with the fries.
Yeah, I don't think the task grabs that one.
Yeah, and then there's the one in the level with the walk before. Is it the walk one? No, it might be the second stage, where I
second stage.
Yeah, I skipped that one in my race against Dig Shake. I also played a slot machine after level 1, and I lost by 3 seconds.
I heard you say that earlier. I think I missed that race.
It wasn't restreamed, so you had to be watching it on multi-Twitch.
Oh, that was the one. I think I watched earlier races, and then I saw that was like a no restream, and I was, I think, practicing Big 20 or something.
Yeah, it was heartbreaking to be on my final egg and then see IRC. I'd rather lose by 10 minutes than lose by that close, because then at least you don't have that feeling of, I got a chance here. And then BGT destroyed me after that because I died 800 times. But BGT is in the winner's bracket. I am 0-3 in the loser's bracket, so we'll give him his just due here. Trying to make... put away the hamburger. BGT had that death, and it's a quick restart when you're in a boss fight to go back. He's not that far behind Buzz. He's actually going to be on the same checkpoint as Buzz. What's the biggest thing upcoming in your mind that could cause anybody a death or time loss?
Let's see. Big deaths coming up. If you get the ice cream bar knocking you into the spikes, that's probably the next one. Yeah, that's what Buzz is right now. I don't like the platforms that are coming up in a couple stages. I know BGT's... Go ahead. Falling platforms.
Yeah. BGT was practicing pixel perfect jumps off of the front of them, so he didn't have to wait for the ice pops. That was what he was doing just prior to going live here. I kind of hope he doesn't try to do it during the race, but we'll see what happens there. All right, Buzz is going to probably grab the plates here. Plates is the strat to use on Sexy Ice Cream, but I am so uncomfortable with making that jump.
I did not practice the plate strat against that boss, so I haven't even gone for those plates.
BGT falls in the spikes. You can recover in this if you fall into the spikes. BGT discovered that. It's like 1 frame, 2 frames at the most. As you hit the bottom of the spikes, you can re-jump and then just hop out. BGT has demonstrated he goes for used to go for the 1-up before he became a winner's bracket guy right there. Dive for the 1-up and then jump again off the spikes and save it. All right, Buzz misses the platform, but BGT died, so he's even further behind than he was before. Let's see how Buzz manages this. Yeah, my problem with the plates is I can't get to the ice cream with it because I can't kill anything with the plates, and I take a hit somewhere.
Yeah, if you take damage on the way, then it doesn't really help you in the fight.
1 heart left for Buzz. But he's practiced this game 800 times, so he'll have no problem with Sexy Ice Cream. I expect him to take an intentional death here really, really quick to get the refill. Although there is a refill shortly after you start the stage, but you got to go a little bit out of your way to get it. So I don't know what the time loss would be dying versus going to get that. We'll see what Buzz decides.
I think he'll go for it. I don't think the early part of the stage is that dangerous.
Just these trollfish.
Yeah.
But there's a lollipop up here. But he might actually not get it. He's going to get it. Okay. I was going to say not get it and take an early hit on the next checkpoint, which is coming up in a couple elevators. We have the Sexy Ice Cream fight with BGT right now.
Yeah, the spoon strat is what I've practiced.
I feel like the ice cream is a fun fight with the spoon.
Yeah.
It almost feels like playing a video game. You have to dodge, you have to hit, you have to, dodge again. It's not just about standing in the right spot or memorizing particular places to stand. I guess it kind of is, but whatever.
Yeah, it's not really a complicated pattern, so...
No. All right, so there are a couple spike pits and spike ceilings coming up for Buzz.
Yeah, that's probably the next big gotcha here is if you jump too high and too far on the one gap, you'll die to the far ceiling spike.
Oh, he's over the first obstacle right now. There was that big, insane jump that gives everyone a problem where you have to jump on basically the last second when your dude's off the platform to make. And he has to avoid those fish, avoid those spikes, and it looks like he's kind of in the clear for now.
Yeah, another thing I think that surprised me about, especially some of the late round robin matches, is some of the people that have less experience, less practice with this game are still not getting the 1-up in the second to last screen here.
Yeah. How do you get that? Do you just drop and hold right and you can make that platform?
Oh no, I'm talking about there's one off screen.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, if you the second to last room, you walk into the door and there's a pumpkin head guarding a candy. There's one off screen right there.
Oh, I never knew that.
Jump up and get.
Well, we have a boss fight here for Buzz.
looked like a clean fight.
But here's the thing. Like, how disappointing is this? Because BGT is crushing it, and BGT died twice. Like, I'm more impressed with that than I am with Buzz's time.
Right. I think, considering the deaths, he's going to end up with a good time. It's going to be better than any of my times.
And this is why these two players are in the upper bowl. Because they're both going to put up sub 16 times unless BGT becomes BGT again. And it might be midnight in California. I don't have a clock near me.
It is not.
Oh, okay. Well, BGT's glass slipper is still a horse carriage or whatever that fairy tale is.
Closing in on 11.
Yeah, and he's a couple hits away, and there he goes. 15:43 for BGT. Hell of a time. Hey, Buzz, congratulations.
Thanks.
Buzz, what is your favorite? Well, actually, why don't you talk about the race for a little while?
Oh, seriously? I was totally expected to answer a better question than that.
It's a winners bracket match in the upper deck.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. You're right. I felt I played pretty cleanly. I made a mess out of 4 by taking damage in 2 spots. I've never taken damage before, and 5 I screwed up 2, and then all the elevator patterns are off if you're not on the global timer. So I lost a lot of time there. But I did really well in the final level. Other than that, it was just pretty straightforward of a run.
BGT.
Yeah, I think you kind of you almost ran into something I described. Larry was saying, well, what could happen, what could go wrong, and I said, you take a couple of awkward hits, and suddenly you find yourself at a boss with 1 heart left, sort of thing. And I saw you heading there, and then you kind of kept it together and recovered.
Yeah, I normally don't have to go back and grab that extra piece of candy before the burger boss, but I did, just so that I wouldn't have to slow down to the next level. I could take that fork damage without dying and going back.
Speaking of forked, BGT, good game, hell of a time there, but you had 2 deaths that were pretty costly. But you played pretty well there. Why don't you say a little bit something about this game?
I'm never playing this game again.
So even though you got better and you became this arrogant upper deck winners bracket guy that you turned into the last 24 hours, you're going to go back to being salty about this game? This game has made you money.
I mean, I don't like it. It's not fun.
Better question to both of you. 90s alt-rock bands that you probably shouldn't like that you do like. Buzz, I know yours is Wallflowers or Matchbox 20.
No, neither of those.
What are your guys' favorite 90s alt-rock, light rock, regular rock band, Everclear kind of era?
If you're asking, I'm going to say Bare Naked Ladies just so that you kick me out of the Discord.
Did you... it's funny you say that, and I guess maybe I'm repeating myself here. Did you ever hear my story? I kicked the girl out of my car for playing Bare Naked Ladies?
I don't think I have heard that story.
Are you serious? So...
I've heard you rant about Bare Naked Ladies before, but I don't think I heard that you kicked someone out of your car because of them.
So back in the 90s when I worked at McDonald's, mid-90s in my high school years, I wanted to date this girl, and we hung out a few times, and we were the Angry Larry date. We go to dinner, and then we play mini golf driving range, whatever floats, whatever gets the better of the acknowledgement. So
I'd go on that date.
Yeah, that's a good date.
So we go, and we're in the McDonald's parking lot because that's where we met up. And she brought a cassette. She takes it out of her pocketbook. She puts it in the tape deck. I'm like, what is this? She's like, Bare Naked Ladies. I'm like, get out. She's like, what? You serious? I'm like, yeah, get out. And it was like one of those things where you're kind of like half serious, but like you didn't want it to actually really happen. And yeah, no, she got out of the car, and that was it.
You shouldn't have committed to it then if you're only half serious.
Do you know, when you're in that age and you have that testosterone building and growing inside of you, and I had roid rage as well, those things happen.
That's pretty extreme, but I think if you're trying to get some action in that age, you should probably let musical taste slide.
What was I going to do? Like, put up with that for a couple months and then like put up with it more. Like I don't see somebody like it was unheard of to me that somebody was a fan of a band and then would give it up so easily.
Well, was it the actual cassette?
It was a cassette of the Bare Naked Ladies, the actual, not like a mixtape. It was the actual
Yeah.
cassette. Just no.
You could have broken it. I used to do that when I was younger. If somebody had a CD or something that I didn't like, even if it was in their car, I did it a couple times. I threw CDs out the window or broke them.
How did you ever have friends?
Buzz rolls hard.
No, back then, well, and I know what Larry's talking about. I was the same way. Yeah, I think a friend of mine, Jackie, she had like a Will Smith CD, Millennium or something like that, and
Big Willie style?
I think it was one of those. But I threw that CD out the window. I think the other one was Madonna too, which I kind of regret because now I like Madonna at my older age, but back then, Madonna was garbage.
Better Madonna. I can't even think of a recent song. Light, Ray of Light, or This Used to Be My Playground.
I don't know Ray of Light.
It wasn't even like a newer song. That was like late '90s comeback Madonna. I think Ray of Light, like the pop album that happened.
Yeah,
or whatever.
I don't know. I'd have to say Playground. I don't know. I Madonna's fine. I just don't know a lot about her other than her singles.
Bare Naked Ladies, BGT. Come on. You like rock out because we used to have didn't they sing the song "If I Had $1 Million I'd Be Rich"?
Yeah, they did.
That was one of their hits off their debut or with the album that came out that got them popular. I remember my sister had that CD.
And One Day was another song I remember. I remember
1 week.
1 week, whatever. Like
that was very popular.
Yeah, it looks like I'm not a closet Bare Naked Ladies fan,
constantly on the radio.
Well, no, I'm not either. I can vividly remember that was 7th grade. That came out. That was very popular.
I know the If I Had $1 Million was like the New York Lotto theme song. So watching Jeopardy, where they always had a New York Lottery commercial, that'd be on all the time, and I just want to punch myself in the face.
Where do you stand on the Big Bang Theory show, Larry?
I've never really given that show its fair shake. I watch it every once in a while in syndication, and I like it. It's enjoyable, but I have something against CBS comedies because
is it that the theme song is Bare Naked Ladies?
Oh no, because I can get away.
so.
I can get away with that because I can watch it on syndication, and they won't play the opening most of the time. They'll just roll episode to episode. But yeah, no, CBS, I hate CBS for what they do to some of their comedy sitcoms and where they bury them and then how they cancel them after like so many episodes that even though they're good shows. So yeah, that's a hot topic.
I end up having bigger issues with sci-fi for that. Sci-fi tends to kill good shows too early.
What is the sci-fi show where it's like the Earth faction of humans versus the Mars faction of humans? What show is that?
Does not sound familiar.
Oh, it's like I don't know what it is, and it looks like I want to watch it, but I can never remember the name of it. It's like Earth built a colony on Mars, or maybe it was the moon. I think it was Mars. But now those two factions of humans are going to war. So it's not like country versus country. It's like Mars humans that have populated there are now like going to war with Earth. It's like a Battlestar Galactica type show, but I don't know the name of it, and it always looked interesting to me.
Is SmackDown still on the Sci-Fi Network?
It is not. It is on the USA Network live every Tuesday.
So they're all on USA now.
The Expanse might be the name of it. Yeah, they're on USA, and they might actually all go to the WWE Network, but I think that's a big bluff.
That was one of my problems, and that's like I know we have very many wrestling fans in this tournament, but that was one of the things that freaked me out about sci-fi. Is they're like, here we're gonna cancel all these sci-fi shows and we're gonna put wrestling instead, which is not
which is
so
a great
scientific.
idea.
I don't know. It just did not seem. I mean, obviously, there's like ratings, and it carries a guaranteed audience, right? But
The
It seems a
decision
little
to put
strange, though.
illogical is the problem.
right, it doesn't
Yeah.
fit. It doesn't fit the genre, but the reasoning behind that was Universal controlled, not because Sci-Fi wanted this series. Like Universal had the final say, and it was like an overflow channel at the time, so they put it there. And then all of a sudden, now they wanted it back on the more popular network than putting it there. Expanse might be it. Yeah, United Nations executive works to prevent a war between Earth and Mars by any means necessary. Yeah, it looks like Expanse is the show.
There you go.
But
Well, now you can watch it.
don't tell me what to do, dude. You lost.
That's true.
Only the winner of this tournament can tell people what to do.
Did I really lose though?
Yeah, he seems
Because I'm
happy
done.
about it. So I think he tanked.
I mean, I did die to the first boss, but
That's why I don't go for the quick kill.
I don't go for the quick kill there either. I get hit every single time. If I don't get hit right when he charges towards me, I get hit when I pass through. I don't understand it. But then again, I'm 0-3 because I play slot machines and live in California and lose by 3 seconds.
I can get the quick kill when I'm, like practicing or warming up, but I don't think I've ever gotten it in a race.
Buzz, I don't think we've gotten your 90s guilty pleasure.
If you want something bad, I still like the first Third Eye Blind album, their first one. I don't know anything else about the band beyond that, but that might fit something like that.
Was that Semi-Charm Kind of Life album?
Yeah, that
Okay.
one. There's a lot of singles on that. Jumper and
Can I Graduate?
I don't know. Yeah, that one too. I could also say Candlebox is another band that nobody would admit to liking.
No,
but their
never even heard of
debut
them.
album is fine.
You've heard of Candlebox. They sing that song You and Far Behind. No, Far Behind. Yeah, You Left Me Far
Yeah,
Behind.
Far Behind. Yeah.
Candlebox was very big in my circle. So it was like one of those bands like I'm just like, "Ah, come on. You guys really like this?" Like, "Yeah, Candlebox, man."
That's how Yellow Card was for me. Like
Wow.
all my friends liked Yellow Card, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is garbage."
Oh man, I saw Yellow Card live. That's one of those bands that I saw live like 3 times on accident, just because they were playing with other shows that I wanted to see.
There was this band.
But they had a violin guy who would do backflips off of the speakers, so the Yellow Card was cool, man.
Dude, no joke. I went to a Shania Twain concert one time. I love Shania Twain. So I went to a concert one time, and there was this opening act that I could have done without knowing what they were. They were this Irish, like, river dance violin playing band called Leahy. Like, all these brothers and sisters played violins and danced like the river dance kind of stuff when they do it. And I'm like, this is going to be the worst thing of my life. And they were doing, like, backflips and cartwheels as they were playing and, like, juggling. I'm like, all right, this, you know what? As a performance, I can get into this, but I never have the CD and just rock, put it on my player kind of stuff. So,
Yeah,
down with-
sometimes the spectacle can win you over.
yeah, I was at a Veruca Salt concert one time, and there was this one band live. There was this one band that was really good live, and another band that kind of sucked live. But I knew instantly that the one band that was really good live was going to have an awful CD, and the other people were going to sound better on the CD, and certainly that was the case. Worst concert you've ever been to?
Worst concert. That's hard to say.
Normally, you don't go to concerts if they're going to be bad because you don't want, you wouldn't be there to begin with. But sometimes
Right.
you humor somebody or tag along or something. And
Yeah, with that, I would say I went because of a girl, my current wife. I went and saw Incubus.
Incubus is one of those bands that we were talking about before in chat too. They would have fit the bill. I don't get the song Drive, but my ex really loved that song, and I'm just like, this song's like, what is it even about?
That's when they blew up and became soft. Like their earlier stuff is more like they were heavier. More like I don't even know if you could say grunge at the time that they were around, but they're a weird band though because they have a DJ and stuff. But then they got popular with that softer stuff, and they kind of changed their style a little bit.
Limp Bizkit had a DJ.
I remember a lot of bands had a DJ and they all had two lead singers because one guy would rap and one guy would scream.
That was certainly a phase that happened. BGT, your worst concert ever?
Um, I don't know. I haven't been to too many concerts. I'm not really a huge live music person.
I went one time. We went to this K-Rock Dysfunctional Family Picnic, and it was Ozzy. It was Deftones, Godsmack, Seven Dust, Limp Bizkit was there. Like a lot of bands.
Sounds like Ozfest.
Creed was there as well. It was just a like
Warped Tour, Ozfest, something like that.
No, it was called Dysfunctional Family Picnic. It was a local radio station concert.
I didn't realize you already said that.
Yeah, and Limp Bizkit started late, and Fred Durst was just acting like an ass. And I was there for Seven Dust and Godsmack, and they were like openers. And Deftones was there too, and it was like, all right, I kind of started liking the Deftones a little bit. But then, like, my girlfriend at the time really wanted to see Creed. It was going to be like Creed, Ozzy were going to be the last two acts, and it was still going to go on for like another 5 hours. And I'm like, I'm under the sun the whole day. I'm kind of burned. I'm dehydrated. We're in New Jersey, like 5 hours, 4 hours from where I live. So we decided to go home, and I felt bad. So I bought her Creed tickets at Madison Square Garden, and they opened with Three Doors Down. And that was probably a painful concert for me to sit through. But yeah, it was a give back though. It was the sorry I didn't feel good and we had to leave. And here we did this though.
That was a good idea. Yeah, definitely a good idea. I almost saw Creed once because I was going to get free tickets from my girlfriend's half aunt who worked at Guitar Center at the time, but then apparently they got lost in the mail or promised to somebody else. So I would have seen Creed, but the tickets were free. So if I had to pay for them, I don't think I ever would have gone to a Creed show.
I don't think I look back and say that concert was awful. I just remember like just the experience of taking the train into the city, the seats, the people around us, the taking the train home kind of stuff. I don't remember a single moment of Three Doors Down or Creed, either good or bad. But I just remember being miserable that day because of just, maybe I was nauseous from the train ride or whatever. Stressing what time the train leaves kind of stuff. But yeah. I think Sevens, you have a match coming up with Coach Crab, and the winner takes on Buzz Thunder. How bad do you want to beat Buzz Thunder?
It would be great. I'd be excited to win that match. If his he can take a couple awkward hits and then go tilt from there, then I think maybe I'd have a shot. But at the same time, I'd have to get past Coach Crab, which is not necessarily going to be free. So
yeah, Coach Crab is pretty good at this game.
I feel like because of Big 20, I'm probably less practiced at this game than I have been the last couple of seasons. So, but at the same time, I did a full practice run of Big 20 games that includes Panic Restaurant last weekend. So,
how'd that stack up?
I feel like I'm in decent shape. It took 5 hours and 33 minutes.
Man, that's extreme.
And that's including I forgot some stuff about Maniac Mansion and had to look stuff up, and it took me like 40 minutes when it should take like 12 or something.
But this is one of those things that I think you would be really good at, learning 20 games in a month.
Yeah, I just I'd be okay at it, but really that's just so much. That's too much for me.
BGT, how come this is something you don't do with all these tournaments you enter where you have no chance of winning?
Big 20? I don't have time for that.
Is it a Californian thing, or is it like you might have to go to the bathroom thing? Like, what don't you have time for?
It's a have a kid thing.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of different levels of practice, right? I mean, there are some guys in there that are practicing basically as a full-time job, right? And you're probably not going to beat those guys. But there are people that, get various amounts of practice, and people that come in not having practiced much, if any at all, and take like I don't know if you've watched some of the previous races, but I think it was Big 20 number 5. Infinite Mystery, I think, knew a couple of the games and then just did the rest of them blind, and I think it took him 34.5 hours.
Didn't he have to stop to go to work?
Nope.
It wasn't. There was a guy one year that was going on for. I don't. They had to have mercy killed that stream at some point, but there was a guy.
The restream eventually, though, when they get down to like 1 or 2 people left after 12 or 15 hours or something like that, they'll cut the restream and just host one of the people that's still running.
There was one of them where at the end one person was still going and then he had to go. He kept playing until he had to go to work the next morning.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the winner was done in like 3 hours.
Yeah.
Toad or whatever.
Yeah, you can't compete with Toad or Arcus, man. That's all those guys do. Those guys are machines.
Yogi.
Hey, Buzz, you got a pick here coming up for the next season's potential game.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
You want to spoiler us
forgot about
right now
that.
so we don't have to take a million years to assemble this?
Honestly, it's been so long that I forgot.
Do you want to give us some possibilities and then give me the answer midweek?
Yeah, well, again, the one I've been hinting at from the very beginning is Jackie Chan.
That's Doc Lobster's game. Don't take Chan from him.
I won't take Chan from him. I've been playing Bubble Bobble recently. I kind of want to do that. Like if we do like a first to level 50 or something like that, I think would be a good race. That might be too mainstream of a game, but
35 people in chat
really
right
like
now
it.
just said they would never watch that.
I am sure they did.
But all right, congratulations.
I can't think of another one though.
That's all right. You'll have a couple days to do it. Buzz, congratulations on your win. Good luck against either Coach or Link. Link, good luck against Coach coming up any night after 10 p.m. He says this week.
Thanks.
And thanks for joining me. And BGT,
Sure.
thanks for not sucking during the race you had with me, and then going back to being full BGT thereafter.
I think I did better in this race than I did versus you, so
No, I
don't
think you
can
did.
complain about that.
No, but midnight is descending upon California, so your whatever is going to turn into your dick is going to turn into a pumpkin soon, and then we're fine. So there you go. Thanks guys for hanging out.
Thanks for the restream.
See you, Larry.
You got it. All right, guys, there you have it. A quadruple header with only one race that really mattered. Buzz Thunder advances, beating Bent Glass Tube in a time of 14:39 for Buzz and 15:43 for BGT. That does it. Coming up soon, we're going to have Coach Crab versus Link Sevens, the winner to take on Buzz in the ChampionSHIT. And we have a plethora of other matches featuring the cesspool matches. Nirm versus Random Effect and Puke 7 versus JSR, 2 gamers. Winner of each match will float to the upper deck. The ultimate loser bracket, the Alan Heffley versus Ryan 7. Jackamus versus Rose City Saint. The loser of those 4 will have to do a humiliation stream brought upon by the winner. And then we have Choke Me I Like It versus Angry Larry and Dig Shake versus Joshy D. The losers of those matches will sink to the cesspool for next season. So we'll see what happens. Make sure you check out the page, the official page of the SHI tournament for your complete standings and tournament brackets and schedule and all that nonsense right there. Challenge.com/SHIT03. That's a 03. And we'll talk to you guys and see you then. Have a good one.